Hello, everybody. How are you? I am excited to be here today and to share my idea with you. All right, I'm trying something different. Hello, everybody. Oh, sorry. How are you? I am excited to be here today and to share my idea with you. Okay, all right, I'm trying something different. All right, I forgot to turn the sound off. I was hitting the wrong button, but I don't know how this one is going to work. If this one will tell me how many are in here or not. We'll see. I think I'm going to go back to the other one. I just wanted to check and see if it will tell me how many are in. So anyway, I wasn't certain what I was going to do today, and then it hit me. I've just started a new, offering, I guess you could say, on my blog. And what it is, it's a one sheet wonder. And what I do is I take 6 pieces of pattern paper. You cut them all the same way, but you end up, you end up with 16 cards. So the way I cut it, each piece would make 4 patterns or 4 cards. And I thought, well, people may not know what a one sheet wonder is. So I'm not doing a one sheet wonder, but this is something I came up with several years ago that I would send to my customers who ordered from me. And it was just taking a 4x6 piece of pattern paper, and I then took and cut it, showed them how to cut it and to make cards. Well, in launching my one sheet wonder Christmas cards, I thought I would do this idea. I'm flipping between my 2 screens because I can't tell. Oh, this one does tell me how many are watching. Let me see. Does this one say anything anywhere? I'm just trying to see. This one says 0. Okay, don't know what's going on with that. So I'll go to the, oh, wait a minute. There it is. It is 2. I think I'm going to go with this one. And I can see, I just have to flip my screen up a little bit. I can see how many are watching, but if you're new here, my name is Robbie, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Bern, North Carolina. And I love sharing my ideas with you. So I have an idea for you today, and I hope you will say hello and tell me where you're from. I have taken a piece of 4x6 paper. I'm going to show you how to chop it, and then we're going to make 3 cards from those chops. So 1 piece of paper will give you 3 cards. Now, my one sheet wonder Christmas card offering is similar to that, but I send you 6 sheets of 6x6 paper. They're all different. You chop them all the same way, but then I've shown you each chop will give you 4 cards. So you end up with 16 cards. Yeah. I don't know how many cards you end up with, but anyway, I show you different ways to lay out the cuts. So in other words, all of the cuts may be the same size, but I show you 4 different ways to lay it out so that it looks like an entirely different card, but it's the same chop. And that is my Christmas card class. I've got one up. I'm going to work on another one. And then I'm going to do some general cards, all occasions, so you can use them for anything. So if you're interested in that, head on over to my blog, Creations in Paper. I don't know if I can modify this afterwards. If I can, I will put the link in there where you can see it. And sign up. I send you everything. You get the PDF immediately, and then I send you the paper and the cardstock. And I do not include stamping. I do not include embellishments. I do not include ribbon. It's just the paper and the card bases. But that's all you need because you can shop your stash and use it for other things. So with that in mind, let's get started. So I'm going to take and I'm going to pull over my camera. So give me a minute because I've got it hooked up. And then I'm going to remove this spotlight and spotlight for everyone. All right. So when I was going to do this, I'm going to adjust the a little bit. So when I decided to do this, I decided to use the Splendid Day Suite. And I've pulled in the leaves, the ribbon. This is the paper, and this is the piece I'm going to use today. And I'm going to use, I did use the dies. I don't know if I use the stamp set or not, but we'll see. So anyway, I have a 4 by 6 inch piece of pattern paper. All right. And I'm going to pull in my trimmer. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the long side at the top. And I have measurements over here, and I'm going to chop off 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. And I'm going to set that aside. Then I'm going to take this piece, which is now 4 by 5. 4 by 5. Maybe this wasn't 6 inches. Oh, you know what? I cut it wrong. Oh, well, we'll do it this way. It should be 5 1/4. Anyway, I'm going to cut it in half at 2. I looked at, this is 3/4, not there, but do it at 3/4. It'll be better. All right. That's all you have to do to chop. That's it. No more chopping. All right. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 cards using the, I can't find my bone folder, soft sea foam. And the beauty of this is you can do this with any paper you have or want. And I'm going to take this, and I did forget, and then a white one. So 2 of the soft sea foam and 2 of and 1 white. So we're going to get 3 cards out of this. Now I did forget to cut my dark green. So I'm just going to pull in some paper here and use it. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to take this 1 inch piece. Now, remember, yours will be 3/4 of an inch. This will be a little shorter, so I'll have to modify a bit. And I'm going to mount this on a piece of evening evergreen just for some contrast. So let me get my trimmer again. I thought I was done, and I would have been if I had done this correctly. So since that's 1 inch, I'm going to cut it at 1 1/4. All right. And then this is 4 inches. So I'm going to do this one at 4 1/4. All right. So I'll move this out of the way till I'm ready for the next cut. This piece is going to go on here like so. I'm going to pull in my glue. Now this is, the back side of this paper is foil. So it will hopefully stick. It should with the glue. Some things won't stick with it because it's foil. All right. Hey, Carol. So glad you joined me. Thanks for saying hello. And I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it right here like this. So I'm going to add that. And I'm putting my pin back in my glue so it doesn't clog up. All right, I'm going to add this over here. Now yours would be 3/4 of an inch because I cut mine wrong. All right, so there's that. So there's the basis, and it's crooked. Let me pull it up real quick. There we go. That's better. I probably had it on straight and moved it. There. All right, now what I did ahead of time was I cut different shapes using distressed gold, white, and evening evergreen. And I'm going to use those shapes to decorate. So I think I'm going to start with this one on the background. Now these shapes are supposed to come out. I don't pop them out because I want to add some interest. The next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one. And then the last one will be this little tiny gold piece in the front. And I think I'm going to put it down here at an angle. All right. So with my glue, I'm going to glue it down. And I don't worry too much about making sure all my tips are glued down. I just glue it in a couple of spots. All right, now, oops, this is the wrong one. I want this one next. All right, this one, it's got to grab first. All right, there. This one is next. And again, I did not pop out the pieces. Some of them popped out when I took it off of my platform. Some didn't. But if it didn't pop out, I am going to put a dot of glue on the back of all of them, because then they'll stay stuck down on my card. So there's that. And I'm going to pull in a block, because what that'll do is it'll help let that glue set while I do my last one. I thought it would be fun to do just a simple card to show you how to use, I'm going to add that, how to use paper and die cuts to create a card. All right, now I'm not going to add an embellishment on that, but I am going to add a bow down at the bottom. So what I'm going to take and do, this is my favorite thing to do, and it's not my idea. I first saw it, I think it was Tammy Hewlett. I'm looking for my ribbon scissors. Did it. And I loved it because I love skinny ribbon. So I took and I tied a loose bow. I then untied it, and now I'm going to use my ribbon scissors, and I'm going to cut this in half. So that I have two pieces, and I don't worry about whether it's perfectly even. I just cut. All right. After doing it for a while, you end up with a little bit better judge. All right. Now I'm going to stack the two together, and I'm going to tie my bow. All right. And it's a simple bow. All right. And I'm going to, I don't want it, my bow too big. So what I do is I play with it till I get it to the size that I want. No, that's the back one. All right, there. They weren't even. All right, then what I take and do next is I separate my loops for my bow. So you can see it's two pieces, and you get little pieces coming off of it. I don't care about that. It kind of adds some texture and interest. Now this I'm going to put right down here. You could have easily added, and I may pull that over and try it, a thread of gold in there, which would have really tied in with the gold. All right, now I'm looking for my glue dots. And remember, one glue dot on each side of your knot. What that does is it grabs the loops so that they don't pull out. If you have it in your envelope and somebody pulls it out, it may undo the bow. And then I kind of separate my my ends a little bit. There's card 1. Now, those that know me know I don't put sentiments on my card because then I can use it for any occasion. So there's card 1, quick and easy. All right, let's do card 2. And I'm going to take this and I'm again going to add a back panel behind it. So let me cut a panel, and while I'm at it, I think I'm just going to cut 2, and it needs to be 5 1/4 because I cut my paper wrong. And then it needs to be 2 1/4 because it's 2 inches, and another 2 1/4. All right, so then I have my 2 pieces that for the ones I have left, and that way I don't have to cut anymore. All right, just like last time, I'm going to add this, and I left my stopper out. Oh, good, it didn't clog up. I hate it when it clogs up. So I try to be very good about putting my stopper back in. All right, and this is going to go on here, and there's a border all the way around. So kind of, I like the glue because it gives you some wiggle room. All right, so I've got that one. All right, this one I'm going to put at the top, like so. All right. Okay, so there's that. And this is going to go on up here. This time, I'm going to use this one for gold. This one for the green. And I'm going to change the order. I'm trying to pop this out so I don't take out all the pieces. If some pop out, it's okay. And then this one is the white. All right. So I'm going to move this up just slightly. I'm going to go this way. All right, so let me get this one put down. All right, again, I'm putting a dot on the piece that didn't pop out. So there's the gold. I'm going to put my block on top like so. The next one I'm going to do is my green. All right. So I'm going to add a dot to the back of this. And then I'm going to add it on here like so. Stick it down. And then the last one is this. And I've got a lot of little tiny pieces in here to add some glue to, because I don't want them to pop out on me. All right. So there's stuck. I'm going to go that way with that. All right, so that'll give it a few seconds to dry, and it's hard because there's a bump there. So I'm going to hold that in place like so. All right, now I'm going to go grab some gold thread because I'm going to show you an idea. Of course, now I've got to find where my gold is because I used it. Here it is. I have some of this gold thread. It's silver and gold. As you can see, I haven't used the silver much, which is unusual because I am a silver girl. All right. And I saved these pieces that I cut off of the ribbon. And you'll see why in just a minute. All right. So I'm going to leave that a few more minutes. Let me put my top back on this, put my stopper back in so it doesn't clog up. I will go ahead. I'm going to move this out of the way. what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to take and use these pieces that I cut off, and I'm going to tie them into, it's a great way to use those pieces, especially if you're uncertain as to how much ribbon you need. So I'm going to tie these in a knot. So it takes a little finagling with this ribbon. It doesn't like to cooperate. All right, I've got it close to the center. I can adjust it a little bit. Oops, too far. I can adjust it so that I get fairly close to the middle, like so. And I'm going to double knot it so that it stays tight. Okay. Right. And then I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to leave some tail to it so that it has some interest. Now you can add more pieces to it. Now you can adjust your pieces somewhat. You don't want to adjust them too much, but I'm going to pull those pieces to the back. All right. I'm going to take my trinket. That's what they call it. Well, I think I'm going to take it. I don't want to drop it, which I did. All right, so I'm going to add it onto my card with a glue dot. And you don't have to worry about it showing. I'm going to put my trinket there. I'm going to take another glue dot, and I'm going to add my ribbon piece that I made on top. All right. And then I'm going to take my green, and I'm going to tie a tiny bow. So I'm using my ribbon to take advantage of my card. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to trim that off. This, I'm going to pull my tails down. And then to tie it together, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tie a knot. I'm going to do it this way because this is the back, and I want the knot in the back. Don't you roll off the table. That would not have been good. So there's that. I'm going to double knot it again, but the glue dot will help hold it in place. And I'm going to kind of move it to the back. All right. This one is not as, I don't have as long of a tail. Pull your gold pieces down before you put your glue dot on. And I'm going to add another one to this side, but I'm going to pull my piece, my gold piece down because I want it to show. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Pull that piece down so that it kind of stays in place. So I'm using my glue dots to help hold it in place. And I have added on here. Now this side is too long, so I'm going to trim it off some. And there's an idea for card 2. So we have, let me pull my card back in here so you can see. We have card 1 and card 2, and let's make card 3. This one has the same piece as that, but I'm going to add it to my green. Now, you don't have to add this to a background color. I am, because I just think you see it more. This is a very, very pale pattern. All right, so there's that. Now I'm going to add this one. over to this side. All right. And since that one was okay, I lucked out. Make sure you check your pattern. If it has a direction, you want to make sure you put it down, going the right way. All right, so there's that. Now I have space. I could very easily leave this off and put a sentiment here. I have space here for a sentiment. I have all this real estate over here for a sentiment. So with this is my background piece. So I'm going to pop it out. Like I said, I'm trying to save the pieces that didn't pop out to use on the card, only because it kind of gives some contrast against the open pieces and if some of them are closed. All right, so there's that. And I'm going to put this one, I think I'm going to go off a little bit like that, like I did on the other one. And I'm looking for my block. There it is. All right, I'm going to put that on there. Background. I think I'll put this one next. And you'll see why in just a minute. Oops, that one came out, so I can't use it. It's stuck. So this one will be an open piece. All right. I've got a little bit of glue I need to get off of there. This one will go on like so. And then I have my last piece. So the background on this one is closed, but these are all open, which gives it some contrast, interest. I'm getting glue on my net. All right, I'm going to put this one over here, put that on. Now what I'm going to do is this one's going to have a trinket on it. And again, I'm going to use, and I'm not measuring this one, get that glue off of there. I'm going to cut this in half. No, I'm not. I'm going to take my end here and I'm going to thread it through. I'll cut it in half afterwards. I'm going to thread it through this hole. And this can be a challenge if your ribbon is thick like this. But I got it on there. All right. And I'm not going to worry about having a knot because I'm going to glue this down. So it's not, that ribbon's not going to go anywhere. All right. So I'm going to add a glue dot to the back. Can't see my glue dots today for some reason. So I have a glue dot on the back, make sure it came off. And I'm going to add this trinket right here like so. All right. Then what I'm going to take and do is now I'm going to cut my ribbon in half on each side. All right. Got to flip this one over. I tried to do it straight and it doesn't want to cooperate, so I'll do it the way it wants to go. All right, so there. Now, I'm going to take this one and this one, and I'm going to tie a bow. Okay. And I'm going to leave that large, and I'm going to leave my ends like that. I'm going to cut this one off and this one off, save those pieces for another idea. And what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to cut this one in half again. So I get some little tiny pieces, just to give that bow some interest. And there it is. 3 cards using one sheet of 4x6. So lots of different ways to use products, ways to use your ribbon so that you aren't always making a bow or a loop or whatever. So let me get ready, and I'm going to take off my spotlight from this one, and I'm going to spotlight my face. Then I'll get this out of my face. And there you have it. 3 cards from one piece of 4x6 paper. I hope I've inspired you to chop your paper today, and I hope you'll come back and see me next Wednesday at noon for Lunchtime Cards with Robbie. Have a great day, guys. Bye.